everybody and welcome to the United Stand. It's Beth's match vlog. Manchester United 3, Atalanta 2. What a game of two halves at Old Trafford. And before anyone says, Beth, you're getting too carried away. Beth, you don't need to be so positive. Atalanta had 5 of the first team players out. I've been waiting for us to win a game in God knows how long, and to win it in that kind of style at the end. Yes, the first half was shocking, we're going to get into that, but the second half for me is what I want to see Manchester United play like. Week in and week out. Is there still fundamental problems? Of course there is. Is the problem Solskjaer still needs to work out? Of course there is. Do I think he's the right man for the job? As I said on the last show, personally, no I don't, but I love OLE. I thought his substitutions were good today, and I thought that second half was what we really want to see from a good Manchester United team, and that's what we should be seeing from them players that we've got out there. And I think it really showed as well, OLE, who should be starting, who shouldn't be starting, and what sort of tactics he should be going into each game with. I mean, don't get me wrong, first half, if we were playing Liverpool like we are going to be on Sunday, would have got absolutely battered. We were lucky in that first half to only concede 2. To be fair, when we came out, I thought the pressing that we were doing, I thought we were pressing as a team really well. I thought that's one thing that had improved. But unfortunately, the defending, again, was absolutely terrible. For one, I want to know what this set-piece coach is doing, because every time we get a set-piece, I am scared for my life. It just looks like we're doing this zonal marking. No one knows who they're actually marking. Maguire, who's meant to be one of the best people off set-pieces, he even doesn't look like he knows what he's doing in that situation. So set pieces are something that really needs working on. Atalanta in a Champions League night, when you're fighting for your place in the Champions League, coming off bad results like that, to let him just have a free header, I thought was absolutely ridiculous. And obviously that first goal, it was so soft. Scott McTominay, I think, should have got there, but I think today we really do miss Varane, and I think that leading presence at the back with Harry, someone who's actually won stuff, someone who's won a Champions League before, would have been really necessary today, because I think Lindelof and Maguire are good centre-halves, but in my opinion, Varane's our best centre-half, and I feel like his leadership qualities would have been needed today, because I do think our centre-backs in the first half seemed soft, but that might have been because we were playing a little bit further back on the pitch. We moved up second half, we look a lot more focused. But still, I do think defensively, we get cut through like a bar of soap. That's how we get cut through. It's really, really bad how much we get passed through in that midfield in the first half, and how soft the defending is, and who's tracking who. I don't think anybody really knows. So that's something that massively needs addressing. But in the first half, the pressing was good. I thought the tempo wasn't there. I thought for a team that's come off the back of a really bad result, I thought we should have been at it a lot more, trying to play passes. But you could see what Ole's tactic was. Ole's tactic was to keep that back six solid, keep in our third of the pitch, and kind of maybe hit a long ball over to Rashford. Hopefully Bruno gets maybe a shot on the outside of the box, because again, Bruno's playing basically as a second striker. And to me, I think that just leaves our midfield way open. Bruno needs to be 20 yards further back than what he actually is. I feel like he's way too close to Ronaldo, and that just gives, one, a lack of passing options to our midfield, and two, it makes them so when they get the ball, they can easily pass through our midfield because the amount of space there is. Because Scott and Fred are way back here, and Bruno's right up to Ronaldo. There's a massive gap. So for me, that's something Ole still hasn't addressed. What's going to happen with Bruno? Because I don't think he has his best game today, but God, that pass to Rashford and the passes he did play that were good were phenomenal. So we need to get the best out of Bruno, and I think playing him as that second striker, people have cottoned onto it now, and I think for me that isn't really working. He needs to track back into the midfield, and I think that's a massive reason of a lot of time why we're losing the midfield battle, is because we've basically got 2 CDMs and then strikers. We don't really have that midfield base, and we don't play triangles, we don't play technical football in the midfield, we don't play pass and move. Well, we certainly wasn't in the first half, and I thought that was a massive problem as to why we weren't stringing passes together, why all of a sudden we'd hit that long ball, Rashford would miss the shot. Obviously he's not match fit, and he had a few chances he should have put away today, and it could have worked if he did put them away, but then the midfield just got cut through, and then we've seen them attack our box in the way that they did. I thought they played really well in the first half, the way they passed it around the box, and that's something I was really gutted about, because Atalanta were outplaying us football technically in the first half, and they were creating a lot more passages of play. I mean, I'd say we had probably more chances, but their passage of play I was really impressed with. But I think Ollie realised when we went 2-0 down, he needs to change it. Personally, for me, I was screaming for Pogba to come on. I thought Pogba would have made a massive difference. And when he did come on, what a difference he made. I think him and Cavani made a massive impact off the bench, the energy, the work rate, the commitment, the mentality, and the way that we actually passed the ball. Lindelof and Maguire moved further up the pitch. I thought Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, especially Wan-Bissaka, was getting forward a lot more, and I think we actually passed the ball, made good passages of play, and Ronaldo was actually getting the ball, and we were actually getting on the attack and making chances. And to come back and score them goals, I thought it showed massive character. I thought the mentality was good, and the thing that I liked about it was the goals weren't actually all moments of brilliance. There were passages of play, and we kept creating these chances. Scott McTominay should have scored off Wan-Bissaka's cross. Bruno could have scored. The keeper made a really good save, and we were actually passing it in and around the box, and I thought that was massive. I think Cavani's work rate as well as Ronaldo's really showed like their mentality and their leadership in that second half. And for me, looking at that second half, like, I think we need to find a way to get Cavani into this team with Ronaldo. Ronaldo has to play. I mean, you saw his goal, you saw his work rate, you saw the way he lifted the team. He's Ronaldo, he has to play. But Cavani is a top striker. And I thought on the wing he looked pretty good. And do you know what to think? Because a lot of times in the first half, obviously, Ronaldo was dropping so deep and there was absolutely no one in the box when we got the ball. And I was screaming, I was like, guys, somebody get in the box, because Ronaldo would come out to get it and no one was in the box. I mean, it might just be reactionary thinking here, but I was thinking about it during the second half, and if you were playing Cavani and Ronaldo, and say you were interchanging one from centre forward and one from the wing, because they've both played on the wing before, you could have someone dropping deep and then an actual striker being in the box ready to receive the ball, and that could work really well. I think Cavani, not only does he provide an excellent centre forward striker on the pitch, I think his passing's good, I think his technical ability is great, and I think his movement is phenomenal. I think that's one of the best things about him. His movement's so good, it creates space for other people, and you saw that when he came on. And also Sancho, who's not had much of a chance yet this season. We've seen glimpses of him, but when he came on, he held his position on that right hand side. He was playing nice passes with Pogba. A few times I thought, oh, maybe you should have took the man on, but when Ronaldo's on that pitch, you need someone on the right-hand side that's going to be creative. Don't get me wrong, I thought Mason Greenwood played well, and I think his passing across the pitch to Luke Shaw was great, and I thought the way he held the ball up was really, really good. But he's a striker, and he's being played in the wrong position. Jadon Sancho creating chances from Ronaldo from the right, possibly Cavani being in the mix with Pogba, I thought it worked really well, because we were actually playing football and we were creating chances, and it wasn't all on Bruno. Bruno, I feel like, was getting more into the game when Pogba was on the pitch as well. And Ollie's got a challenge on his hands, because Pogba's got to play with Bruno, because I think when they do play together, like we saw in that second half, when the pressure was defensively was a little bit off. Obviously, you still had to keep the pressure on because you couldn't concede. But when Pogba was getting involved in the attack with Bruno, and I thought he kept his defensive position pretty well as well, I thought you saw the best out of Bruno and Pogba, and I thought they were playing really well together. I thought Cavani complemented it a lot, and I thought Ronaldo was getting many more chances, and Luke Shaw had a lot more space on the left-hand side as well. So for me, Cavani's got to get a look into the team. Pogba as well, he's got to play with Bruno. So Ollie's got a challenge on his hands, because is he going to revert to McFred and bring Pogba off the bench again? I don't think you can do that. It's Paul Pogba. He's got to find a way to defensively keep it safe, but also get Pogba into that team, and even possibly play Cavani off the bench. I mean, Marcus Rashford, for me, his movement was amazing. I think he's got the potential to be a top level winger, do not get me wrong, but as we saw again, he likes to cut inside, he likes to shoot, and if he had his shooting boots on today, he could have got a hat-trick, and he just needs to stay a little bit onside, but they were marginally offside. So Rashford and Greenwood, great strikers on the wings, but they're not going to create you all the chances, and we need to be creating chances for Ronaldo in the box. So that's something that Ollie's really got to think about. What kind of game you're going to be playing? Are you going to be playing counter-attacking? Are you going to want to take your football and imprint it on the game? And in the second half, I felt like we imprinted our football in the game. We were making chances, we were getting crosses in, we were passing it through the lines, we were actually having passages of plays in triangles on the wing with Jadon Sancho and Cavani on the other side, and I thought we looked like a lot more of an attacking threat. Yes, Atalanta had some of the players missing. And yes, you could say if it was a better team like Liverpool, we would have got absolutely punished in the first half and it wouldn't have been easier to come back in that sense. But I'm still going to get excited about the fact that's the most chances I've seen us create in that second half. Even towards the end of the first half, I thought we were creating chances a lot more. But another thing, just to add on at the end, that I think Ollie needs to address is the way we came out in the second half, the attitude, the commitment, the focus, even defensively we were so much more focused. He needs to work out a way of how to get the players to do that from the moment of kickoff. I don't know whether he needs to go back and look at how to prepare players for a game, what he's doing beforehand to warm the players up, mentality-wise, what's going on. But he needs to change his tack before the game because that's the way the players should be going into every single game. It shouldn't take going 2 goals down to come out and play that kind of football and have that attitude and have that mentality. He needs to work out how to do that at the start of the game. And if we can work out how to do that, it looks like we're getting more on the right track. Do I still think there's issues? Of course I do. Do I still think there's problems in the team? Of course I do. But it's great to get that win at home to Atalanta, who are a decent team. Yes, he had players missing, but they are a decent team. And it keeps us safe in the Champions League group now. We've won that home game. And it gives a positive mentality going into the Liverpool game, which we will have to be up there if we have a chance of beating Liverpool compared to what we were tonight. We'll have to be 10 times better. But you know what? It's a step in the right direction. And it shows the players are still playing for Ollie, even though personally right now I don't think Ollie's the right man. The players are playing for him. And I thought that second half was the best half of football I've seen in a while from Manchester United. So I'm going to be happy about that. And yeah, all I can say is that Cristiano Ronaldo, for me, is man of the match because I thought his mentality, his work rate and that winning goal at the end as well. I thought it was amazing tonight and I think he's proved a lot of people wrong in the sense it isn't him that has the problem. We just need to create the chances for him and play that type of football. But anyway, guys, like and subscribe, get your comments in. Do you agree with me? Do you not? And I'll see you at the Liverpool game on Sunday and hopefully we can get a result and start putting these wins together. But I'll see you on Sunday, guys.